What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Techbot Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another live stream. So if you guys are joining us for the first time and don't know who it is that I am, we have a group. It's Techbot Solutions. You guys can check out the link in the description. We have over 45,000 members worldwide, and the thing that we do best is we provide a free and simple platform for people to share ideas, not only in the stock market but any market that you can make any money in. I'm simply going to be talking about a recent deal that I ended up closing in. I made a video yesterday, and I'm sorry that I didn't show the screenshot. I showed the screenshot within the Discord group chat to make up for it, and I can put it in the announcement sections if you guys really want to see it. So don't really know how it is that I'm going to do this, because I'm going live and I want to make sure that I don't show any private information, but let's see. There we go. Right. That was just part of what it is that I paid for one of my properties yesterday. It came down to having to buying it outright. So in this video, I simply wanted to talk to you guys. It really has nothing to do with it being, at a young age or anything like this. I think it could be really for anyone that's trying to get into, real estate investing, or kind of they want a perspective on why everyone says, buy with cash or buy with a loan and stuff like that. I'm going to give you my own approach. This is not the only way that you guys can go about, investing in real estate. I simply want to talk to you guys and hope that I can guide you guys in the right direction. First of all, I would suggest for you guys to watch my other videos that I've made on, when it comes down to closing costs, working with agents and the lending company, how you can negotiate, certain amount of fees that you do or do not have to pay. And I think that can save you a couple hundred, if not thousands of dollars. And I hope simply by watching my videos, I can guide you at least in the right direction. Now, down to buying a house cash versus a loan, let me just get right to it. So for those that are watching, let me get right to it. So I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons about buying it cash or buying it with a loan. So I'm going to give you my own example for this specific deal. So this specific deal, it was rushed. We had to hit a certain deadline to be able to close by that specific deadline, because this individual that was selling the property wanted the money as soon as possible. It just came down to demand the money in hand. We're able to take advantage of that opportunity. If I were to take out a loan for the property, which is something that I would have qualified for, but it just would have taken too long for, if you've ever worked with a lending company, sometimes it can take 2 weeks to 4 weeks altogether to close, just because of all the different documentations that they have to go through. So this is why I ended up paying it cash. Real estate agent always talks about cash is king. So talking about like cash is really when an opportunity presents itself and someone sees like a cash buyer, they all get paid out the same, but dealing with a cash buyer, you obviously get the kind of just idea that they're willing to work with you. They're a little bit more serious when it comes down to the actual deal, and they don't want any they don't want to deal with any real BS. It really comes down to like, I have the cash, you have the property, let's make the deal happen and move on. So obviously cash, when it comes down to making an offer in all cash, that is 100%, I think, a pro, right? As long as it's a reasonable offer. Now, the second thing, the reason that I like paying with cash is closing at a quicker pace and at possibly a lower cost. And what I mean by that is, because you don't have to go through all these title fees and all these kind of loopholes when going through a traditional loan. So when you get a traditional loan, the lending company needs to make sure that you get some type of insurance, that it's appraised, and all these certain things that take up weeks. So not having to take out a loan, you just put the cash, the title company just makes sure that the funds are available, as well as that they have the title on hand and they take care of the exchange. So kind of just think about the MDV for a car. When you buy a car cash or something like that, the title company is that same exact thing. They just take care of the change in name and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool, being able to close the property at a much quicker pace. And then the last thing is going to be, again, I'm just going to be listing 3 things. The last thing is going to be So what I mean by that is when it comes down to, the first one, cash is king, and being able to close on properties at a much quicker pace, the last thing is more opportunity. If people see that you have cash and need, to get rid of the property, then you're most likely able to take advantage of more opportunity because, you can simply put up the cash to take advantage of the opportunity. If I didn't have, the cash available to buy this specific, condo, then I would have not been able to purchase it because the loan would have taken too long, and that would have been a miss on that opportunity because I didn't have the capital to make it happen. So those are the three simple, pros of paying with cash. Now, when it comes down to that I've experienced, when it comes out to a loan, I'm going to talk to you guys about what it is that I like about it. So there's a couple people asking some questions within the live stream. I promise you, I will be answering your guys' questions and stuff like that. So just give me 1 second. But all right, and then the loan amount is going to, what I'm going to talk to you guys about is when it comes down to taking out a loan, if this is going to be your first property or anything like that, realistically, a lot of you guys might not have the capital pay a house cash, and there's nothing wrong with that. The reason why is right now capital is so cheap, so interest rates are so low. Therefore, if you do want to take out a loan, the reason that I was looking at the approach of taking out a loan first was because money was so cheap that it would have been more the amount. It just right now, because money is so cheap right now, to take out a loan. What I mean by that is just the interest rate that you're paying is so cheap that having my in the bank would be much more just attractive to me because I can invest those couple $100,000 make me more money than just having it tied up on this house. But again, that's kind of my perspective. If you can take out a loan and it's not time sensitive, and the deal is still going to be a deal, then there's nothing wrong with taking out a loan. With taking out a loan is that it takes a longer period of time, right? Going through all the loopholes that the lending company makes you go through. So that can be a drawback if you need to hit a certain time frame to close on your property. And then the easiest way that I can put it for you guys is if you guys found the deal with you and you're willing to take out the loan and you're willing to and you're able to qualify for the loan. So if you found the property, there's no time frame that you need to close by or anything like that, and you have the amount that you need to put for the down payment, then I think that's an amazing opportunity. The only time that I think that a loan does not is when taking out a loan and all the closing costs that you have to pay are so much higher that it eats up it eats up the margin that you're going to make off the property. So with that simple understanding, you have to into perspective. So if you're thinking of buying a house for $300,000 and it's valued at your closing costs, let's say they're anywhere around from $10,000. You're taking out a loan and it just ate up 1/3 of the profit that you're going to make up on this property. Therefore, if you pay for that property cash, your closing costs might be anywhere from just a couple $1,000s, so maybe one or two, and therefore you don't eat up as much of your margin for profit. But if your margin is so big that taking out the loan doesn't really get rid of the opportunity or doesn't really get rid of the deal, then I say, go for it. So the biggest things that I try to look for when it comes down to either taking out a loan or paying cash is there still enough margin to make this deal a deal? And when it comes down to the time frames, is it time sensitive? And then the last thing is money cheap? And if it's cheap, then I can take advantage of the opportunity without having to pay much interest rate on what it is that the loan that I'm taking out for the property. But if it's not cheap, then it's probably not the best. So really just it. So I just wanted to make a very simple video. If you guys are catching this a little bit late, this video will re-upload. I showed briefly just the amount that I paid cash yesterday. So for one of the properties, it was a condo that I bought out of the different investment properties that I own now. But yeah, so let me go ahead and start answering some of your guys' questions. I saw some things being thrown around that I really didn't understand. So Okay, so Kenny Novak is saying he is buying distressed properties in Texas from people who have no choice but to sell. The property that I actually bought is in Arizona, and I'm not buying properties here in Texas. So I'm here visiting in Texas, and I'm actually volunteering at a food bank so I can kind of just give back or just help out within the area in Houston. So that's why I'm here. I'm not here to look at any properties or anything like that, but I appreciate you jumping into conclusions like that. It's very appropriate. People who need cash to buy $10 waters. Yeah, and that's why we raised a couple $1,000s within our group. We're going to be donating to the people that receive Valiant. So pointing that out, bud. Okay, so Bradley J. Owens is saying, hey, Ricky, what do you think about the housing bubble? Do the low interest rates make it still worth buying? And that's the thing. Money's so cheap, and I had a question about people asking about my opinion. Again, I'm not a real estate guru or anything like that. I just, when I see an opportunity, I take advantage of it. And this property, the condo that I just bought, has a couple tens of thousands of dollars of profit margin. So therefore, I'm buying it to flip. With that simple understanding, sell it. But if a deal is a deal, regardless if bubble's about to pop, if a deal is a deal, then 100%, then I would still take it. It comes up to you if you have the capital, if you're spreading yourself too thin to take it or not. Let's see. So I didn't. All right. I do want to give a shout out. I'm sorry, I'm reading all the comments in the live stream. So we're in our Airbnb right now. I have Brad actually right next door. So if you guys don't, if you guys follow us, you guys know who it is that we are. I have Brad right next door, or right in the next room. He's the one that leads the OTC stock group, and he himself actually flew out here to help kind of just hand out food because we're going to be volunteering in the food bank. So for what's his name? That's saying that we're buying properties in distressed areas or anything like that. Regardless of, first of all, I'm not here to look at properties, or I have not looked at one property or anything like that, and that's not what I'm going to be doing over here. But I find it so naive for people to say that, oh, Rick is just over there to try to make money and stuff like that. If an opportunity presents itself, I can promise you that I will take an opportunity regardless of what the circumstances is. But I know that my purpose here for this individual trip is to help volunteer and to give back to those that were unfortunately devastated due to the storm. And that's what I'm going to do. So I don't appreciate going out of his way and trying to subjugate what it is that I'm doing with my team here, because what it is that I'm doing is something that you're not doing, nor anyone it is that you know. So I would appreciate you to be a little bit more respectful with what it is that we choose to do and who it is that we choose to give back to. And if I choose to invest here in Texas later down the road, then so be it. It has nothing to do with you, nor the circumstance. If there's an opportunity that presents itself, because of certain circumstances, no, you guys know that I'm always willing to give back and stuff like that. So other than that, I'm here to help people out, and I'm here to volunteer. But and I want you guys to understand that like individuals like Kenny is just not necessary. Leo Guerrero is saying, are you putting in work in the property? So the property that I just bought, the condo, I am not putting in any work. I'm just going to rent it out for the months that I'm not selling it. I'm going to be posting it a little bit higher than what average sale prices are, just because I'm not super aggressive in selling it. But I think I can get what I'm going to be asking for later down the months. And for the meanwhile, I'll be making money off the rental property. Asking what specific margins do you look for before buying the property, and how is that determined? There's a lot of things that come into play, and there's no exact formula that I have set up. I have certain investors that I didn't go in with this property, but talk to me about wanting to invest in other real estate properties with me because of what it is that I've been able to do with the properties that I currently own. I don't do anything special. It comes down to like a deal that's far below market price and taking advantage of that opportunity, setting up a plan on how I can make money while I own it, and then to the point of when I sell it. So that's my part. Yeah. Okay. So we have Boomer 2. Would it be smart to buy a duplex? Um, yeah. So I like that approach. So Boomer 2 is asking, would it be smart to buy a duplex and then him live in one room and rent out the other rooms? So that's actually what I did with my first property. I bought it as my primary residence. It was a 3-bedroom home right near the ASU Polytechnic campus. So I bought it, rented out to the bedrooms, and I started living for free. It was paying for my mortgage, and that's really how it all started. Just getting that understanding that whatever it is that I was buying, if it was a car, if it was a property, if it was anything, I would always try to form it as a business. And I think that comes down to having I don't want to say a business mind, but just always looking and trying to find creative ways on how to make money. And that's all I always encourage you guys to do. So you guys are telling me to ignore the haters. I just find it funny. Um, say something very disrespectful to the individual, but I appreciate you guys and all your guys' support. So yeah, so I'm gonna let this video repost. If you guys can share it, if you guys think that it can benefit someone because of the content that was being shared, feel free to do so. We'd love to have them as a part of the team, and we'd love to help out as many people as we can. Again, we do provide the Facebook group for free, so feel free to join. We're growing at a pace of about 300 to 500 people a day, so we'd love to have you as a part of the community. And all the links are down in the description. If you guys would like to schedule a one-to-one video call with me, that link is down in the description as well. And I'd love to hear your guys' business ideas. I'd love to talk to you guys about investing in the stock market. I'd love to hear any investment or real estate opportunities. Like I've told you guys before, if you guys find any deals and don't necessarily have the capital to make it happen, feel free to reach out to me. If I don't see value in that opportunity, then I'm sure I can get another investor. We have dollars available, and if I don't take advantage of that opportunity, then I'm sure someone else can see value. It's just as simple as reaching out to me, and you're more than welcome to schedule a video call with me. So feel free to direct message me. Um, uh, Direct message me within the TechBud Solutions Discord group chat. And with that simple understanding, if you guys want to, reach out to me, that's the best way to reach out to me. Other than that, again, all the links are down in the description. I want to thank you guys again for being part of the team. For those that are in the Houston area, we will be at that main food bank. I believe me and Bradley are going to be going from 8 to 12. 8 to 12, I think. So feel free to join us, and that's going to be in the morning. We'd love to see you guys there, and if you guys can help out as well, then I think that would be amazing. So thank you guys again. All the links are down in the description. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, and like always, guys, let your passion be what drives you in your success. Take care, guys. Let's make sure that we're in the year on a green note.